It all began on a summer afternoon that felt like any other. The sun hung lazily in the sky, casting a warm, golden glow, the kind of day that leaves you feeling relaxed, yet oddly restless. My best friend Ethan had invited me over to his place. We'd been close since junior high, and during the summer, I was practically part of the furniture at his house. His family was laid back, welcoming. Ethan's dad was often away on work trips. But his mom, she was something else entirely. Her name was Laura. Laura Bennett. She was the kind of woman who caught attention without trying. It wasn't about makeup or flashy outfits. It was her calm confidence that turned heads. In her early 40s, she didn't look it. She kept herself fit, always dressed in a simple, yet striking way. Her chestnut hair shimmered in the sunlight, and her hazel eyes had a way of looking right through you. Ethan and I had just finished playing basketball in the driveway. We were soaked in sweat, breathless and laughing. He suggested we go inside for something cold to drink, and I followed him. Laura was in the kitchen, wearing cut-off jeans and a loose tank top, her hair tied back as she sliced peaches on the counter. I tried not to stare, but my eyes stayed a second too long. She looked up and caught me. Busted. A small, knowing smile played on her lips. Not annoyed, not judgmental, just playful. "See something worth staring at, Caleb?" she asked, her voice smooth like honey. I felt my face heat up. Ethan, unaware, was already rummaging through the fridge.
No. Sorry.
I didn't mean to, I mumbled. She raised an eyebrow, her smile still there. "Come on in if you're feeling bold." Then she went right back to slicing peaches like nothing had happened. I stood there frozen, unsure what to make of it. Was she teasing me? Or annoyed? I couldn't tell. Laura had this mysterious quality. She'd say something simple, but it'd stick in your head for hours, making you wonder what she really meant. That evening, Ethan and I holed up in his room playing video games. Laura walked by a few times, each time giving me that same subtle, knowing smile. I tried to focus on the screen, but my mind kept going back to that moment in the kitchen. It stayed with me. A few days later, I was over again. Ethan had to run an errand with his cousin, and Laura told me I could hang out until he got back. I sat awkwardly on the living room sofa, scrolling on my phone, when she came in. "Ethan's going to be a while," she said, placing a glass of iced tea on the coffee table. "You don't have to look so tense, Caleb."
I don't bite.
"Thanks. I mean, yeah," I muttered. She sat across from me in the armchair, crossing her legs, her eyes bright with curiosity. "You're always so polite. Maybe a little too polite sometimes." "I just don't want to come off as rude," I replied. "That's sweet," she said with a soft laugh. "But sometimes, it's okay to say what's on your mind." I looked up, unsure where this was going. "I noticed how you looked at me the other day," she said casually. "Don't worry, I'm not mad. Honestly, it was kind of flattering." I swallowed. I didn't mean anything by it. "Didn't you?" she asked gently. "Maybe not. But you're not a kid anymore, Caleb. You see things." A silence fell between us, heavier than before. The air felt thicker. I didn't know what to say. Everything I thought of felt wrong. She stood and walked to the doorway, then paused and turned. It takes courage to be real. Most people spend their whole lives pretending they don't feel what they do. And then she left the room. That night, I couldn't sleep. Her words replayed in my mind. Laura wasn't just Ethan's mom anymore. She had seen me, really seen me, and not just in the way I'd noticed her. It felt deeper than attraction. It was like she understood me in a way no one else had. The following week, I was back again. Ethan was out in the garage, working on his skateboard. I wandered into the kitchen to grab a soda. Laura was sorting laundry, humming quietly. She looked up and grinned.
"Hey."
"Bold enough to step in this time?" I gave a sheepish laugh. "Maybe." She tossed me a dish towel. "Then make yourself useful." So we folded towels together, paired socks. It felt oddly natural, like we'd done it a dozen times. But there was still that undercurrent of tension, unspoken, but present. "You're quiet today," she said, glancing at me. "Thinking about me, maybe?" Her tone was teasing. I froze. She laughed softly. Relax, Caleb. I'm joking. Mostly. I just never know what to say around you, I admitted. You throw me off balance. Good, she said, smiling. Maybe that means you're actually paying attention. As summer went on, things between us became more complex. We never crossed any lines. Laura was always careful, but her questions got deeper about life, my dreams, who I was underneath it all. In some strange way, she became a kind of guide. And yeah, I was still drawn to her in a way I didn't fully understand. Then came the night, everything shifted. Ethan had left on a last-minute weekend trip with his dad. Laura called and said I could still come over. No reason you can't swing by, she said. We can hang out like grown-ups. I hesitated, but said yes. I arrived around 6 p.m. She opened the door with a warm smile, wearing a light summer dress, her hair down for the first time I could remember. She'd made dinner, grilled chicken, salad, and pasta. We ate outside on the patio, the sky fading into soft streaks of coral and lavender. She poured us sparkling water, laughing at my bad jokes. You've changed this summer, she said suddenly. You seem more sure of yourself. You think so? I know it, she said. You carry yourself like you're starting to understand who you are. I didn't know how to respond, but her words made something swell in my chest. Coming from her, they meant something. After dinner, we cleaned up together. I dried dishes while she loaded the dishwasher. When we finished, I turned to her. Can I ask you something? Of course. Why are you always so good to me? She paused, then gave a soft smile. Because I see something in you. Something rare. You remind me of someone I once knew, someone who didn't have much support, but still became someone worth knowing. I don't want to mess anything up, I said. You won't, she replied. As long as you stay true to yourself. The silence that followed felt full, not awkward, but meaningful. Something had changed. We didn't need to say it out loud. I left that night with my heart pounding, but a new kind of clarity. Laura wasn't just a summer crush. She was someone who helped me grow, who saw something in me I didn't know was there. And for that, I'd always be grateful. The rest of summer passed quickly. Ethan never noticed the quiet connection I shared with his mom. And I never told him. It wasn't about secrets or shame. It was just something deeper, something that didn't need to be explained.